Hi, and welcome to another executive interview. Today, we have a very special guest returning back for an interview, Riccardo Canevari, the CEO of Radiopharm Theranostics, listed on the ASX under ticker RAD. Radiopharm Theranostics is a clinical stage radiotherapeutics company developing a world-class platform of innovative radiopharmaceutical products for diagnostic and therapeutic applications in areas of high unmet medical need. Riccardo, thank you for joining us for this interview.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Brilliant. Now, to begin our interview today, can you please provide us with an update on Radiopharm's progress towards its key priorities since your last visit to Australia?
Yes, absolutely. Let me start sharing that I'm here in Sydney in our hotel room after having visited, Adelaide, Perth, Melbourne, and now Sydney, all in 4 to 5 days. So a very busy time, exactly to share the progress of the company. And back to your question, we are advancing, I would say, full speed with our priorities. We want to be sure that we are focusing on 3 priorities for 2023. Is our pivotal trial in brain metastasis, our imaging trial in pancreatic cancer, and the third priority is our first therapeutic trial in patients with non-small cell lung cancer. These are our top 3.
Brilliant. Now we will dive deeper into all of this one by one. So first, let us talk about if you could share any updates on Pivolet's development since reporting positive phase 2 data in the imaging trial for brain metastasis in late October 2022.
Absolutely. So after these positive results, statistically significant phase 2 data, we are approaching the next step, looking at 3 important aspects. The first one is the clinical. So we had a very important advisory board with, I would say, worldwide medical expert in brain metastasis to be sure that they will position Pivolet in their clinical approach when the product is available. And we receive very important and interesting feedback. There is definitely an unmet medical need, and it's important for them to have a PET agent like Pivolet to support what the information that they already received from MRI. So a clear clinical need from Pivolet. The second aspect was the commercial potential. How can be the commercial potential of Pivolet? What are going to be the annual sales and the potential commercial success? And we are conducting with a third-party consultancy company a commercial assessment to understand the potential of Pivolet. Those data will be available in 6 to 7 weeks. So after clinical and commercial, of course, the most important is regulatory. And so we are in discussion with FDA, and we have planned 2 meetings. One meeting, the pre-IND at the end of April, and the second meeting, the IND meeting around June. The objective is to have permission from FDA to go to phase 3 pivotal trial for Pivolet, so that we can confirm the already positive data that we saw in phase 2. But this time in the most important trial, that is the pivotal one.
Got you. And that is so exciting for us, especially, the investors for Radiopharm to actually have a look out for. So this is brilliant. Now, for my next question, it would be great if you could give us an update on the current status of Radiopharm's planned imaging trial in pancreatic cancer.
This second imaging agent, the pancreatic cancer one called Trivaxin, is our second priority. Pancreatic cancer is a very difficult disease, and it is important for the oncologist to detect the tumor as early as possible. Earlier detection means higher probability of survival and better outcomes. So we are very committed to start this imaging trial in pancreatic cancer. The good news is that in the last week of December, we received FDA IND approval to start the phase 1 in New York City. So we have a plan,
That's
we have a
brilliant.
clinical center, and we are almost ready to go. We need to finalize the supply chain because moving isotope sometimes has some complexity, but we plan to have the first patient recruited between April and May this year. Also, what I believe is interesting that this trial will go extremely fast. So in probably 3 to 4 months, we will complete the trial and we will also have readout and results in 2023.
Very exciting indeed, Riccardo. And honestly, the progress that you're showing, that's brilliant. Now let's discuss Radiopharm's third priority that you mentioned, the therapeutic trial in patients with non-small cell cancer in Australia. So can you give us an update on the trial's progress and any noteworthy results that you can share with our viewers today?
So after 2 imaging trials to be performed in US, now our first therapeutic trial will be performed in Australia. And we are very proud of it because is lung cancer, is non-small cell lung cancer. It's a very tough disease, of course. Patients do have good therapies available, but there is also need for additional therapy to further improve the outcomes. We have identified the center. We are working with Genesis Care as a CRO, and we plan to submit a request to the ethics committee to have the first patient again around May, June this year. So before summer, US summer, we are going to have the first patient treated. Is an important trial, a dose escalation. We want to see safety, but also the first sign of efficacy for our asset in lung cancer. So we're really looking forward to start and to see the initial sign of a potential important therapy.
Amazing. Now, Riccardo, in September 2022, Radiopharm announced a strategic joint venture with MD Anderson. This is something that we had discussed in our previous interview as well. Can you provide any updates on the progress of this collaboration in the first 6 months?
The joint venture with MD Anderson is more a mid-term project. So they have important products in their pipeline that they decided to give and to develop together under the joint venture. Now we are still in the preclinical stage. The first products will probably reach the clinic in a year and a half, 2 years. But for us it's important because this is like a next generator or generation of radiopharmaceutical, and we believe that can help our future pipeline. So a midterm but very interesting project because we are working with one of the most, if not the most recognized cancer center in the world.
Absolutely. Now, as a parting question, Riccardo, can you speak to us about any potential inflection points that Radiopharm investors should expect in the near future?
Absolutely. So I do believe that in 2023, in the period between May and July, we are going to have a lot of important information to share with the market. The beginning of the trial in prostate cancer, in pancreatic cancer, the beginning of the trial in non-small cell lung cancer, the potential feedback from the FDA to go straight to phase 3 for our brain mass trial. So it's really the May-August timeframe we see as a potential important inflection point for the company. And while we're working with the rest of the portfolio, these 3 priorities are really close now in terms of being a few weeks away.
Brilliant. It's all so exciting. And I would like to thank you firstly for coming on for this interview and taking the time to speak with us and also providing these valuable insights into Radiopharm's progress and priorities. For our viewers who are interested in learning more about Radiopharm Theranostics, please check out the contact information provided on your screen or in the description of the video. Also, stay tuned for more engaging and informative interviews in our executive interview series. Once again, thank you for your time today, Riccardo.
It has been a great pleasure staying here with you.
Brilliant. Thank you.